Hey, I'm Gerald. This is Terry. This is Shane. We're three brothers together. We've got an issue. We have rot coming up through this reveal portico portion of this entryway. And here you can see that all of this is rotted away and falling loose. We also have some damage here on one of the stiles on the side, opposite of this one here. And we're going to replace that. The problem is water is getting in from above somewhere, so we're going to try to figure that out too while we're here and make that repair. Most likely, what really needs to happen is it needs a piece of aluminum splashing broke out and flashed into the brick would eliminate this completely. But since we do not have that at the time, we're going to simply find the issue, the crack in the caulking, and we're going to cut it out and re-caulk it. If this was under a normal circumstance, and I had known that before arriving, then I would have brought a brake and some flashing or some coil stock and broke some flashing over this detail. But nevertheless, we are here to repair, and so we'll get started repairing. Flat bar, but I can get this thing started out of here. See if I can get it out from behind everything. One thing about it for sure, it's got a good neighboring behind it. That's good. That's a bonus. And need of replacing too. I need them. We have removed all of the rotted and decaying materials, including around the arch. Now we're going to be putting back a rubber brick mold, basically, around this part because it will bend really easy. Putting this in is a slow and a meticulous job, and probably not the kind of thing that a first-timer would do unless they'd had some help prior to it. That's what this video is about. to show you how to handle repairs like this. Here we have a standard piece of 1x. It was a 1x4 cut down to 3 3/4 of an inch, which is what it is all the way back. And it was rotted in this area where you see this black. That's the reason this is black here. It's not decayed, it's just due to water infiltration. So we're going to put shims, because what we're putting back is going to be a PVC. And this gap here between the outside of the brick mold and this nailer here is 1 inch. Our PVC is 3/4. When we cut it and put it in here and we nail it, it's going to go all the way back, making an 1/8 of an inch gap here. And we don't want that, we want it tight. So I've made up little 1/8 of an inch shims. And I will put that here, and then when I put in my block of 3/4, it's going to force that 3/4 back toward the molding as it goes in, which will give us a good tight fit against the brick mold. And the other end, we can just simply face nail, or we can nail out here, and I can do the same thing. I can have a piece of 1/8 shim in behind that. So the idea though is to get all this back in such a way so that when I get to nailing it, start nailing through with my pneumatic trim gun, that it doesn't force this piece of material all the way back against this nailer here. So that is the next issue. So we've got to come from across her arch down to it, and right here is where it all ends. So I'm just going to measure and make my piece the same as what's on the left that exists, put that in, and then we'll proceed to put in that flexible brick mold. That is the plan. We'll see how well that works. Okay, I'm putting them on out here. There's not enough room to get that little behind there. When I mash it down, it should spring it back. So you put it down from here about every foot or so. Tack one of them on, just like so.
Push it all the way back, get it.
One there and one here. There we go. One here. Let's get right there. It's going to be really close. Alrighty. Work with these was perfect. That's what we're looking for, guys. This is nearly perfect. Rarely does it end up that way. I've got about 3/64 of a gap right here.
which is just enough room for my caulking to kind of get in there and get a bite. That's what I want. And this will be flush as we come up through here nailing it. Now I'm using a 1.5 inch, probably a 5 gauge nail. And that's what I'm going to be nailing it with. There she be. Okay, that's one portion done. Now the next point is going to be trying to measure around this. If you're having a tough time measuring a radius, there's 2 or 3 different ways you can go at this. One, you can take a string. Shane, if you just bring that camera around, and you put you a little nail right in the corner of that, hang a string on it. You lay that string right across the top, all the way around where you want it, and then you take a Sharpie and you mark the string. I'll tell you what length you need. As long as the string must be braided. A nylon twisted string is going to have too much stretch. They all stretch. But a braided string is going to stay really snug where you want it. So, the other way is to do the math. Swing the arch. Well, that math gets complicated. I'm a simple man. The other way is just simply to take your rule, turn it backwards. And I'm going to cram this rule in all the way around. Just like so. According to this, 66 inches. We're going to find out for sure because I'm going to do that again. Takes a little patience to do this, by the way. I'll get back in there.
You need another hand?
No, I'm gonna make this happen. Okay. Come on. Yeah, Carson, come up here. Help me hold it. Good. Tuck it right back in on the top of that. Okay, now according to what I have right here, 66 inches. So I'm going to cut this about 66 3/8. I'm going to cut long, just in case. Now, cutting this stuff is a chore. So, what I endeavor to do is just lay a piece of scrap over top of it to keep this from getting against the sides of my blade and binding. If it binds, it's going to produce a safety issue and thumbs and hands can be lost. So when you're doing this, you do it very carefully. We're not plugged up, gentlemen. I'm gonna gnaw that in two like a beaver.
There we go.
Very good. Now, burn this end of it off. I've got it long. So lay that down. And I just want to take a fraction of an inch of that off. So, I'm going to make sure that I'm in my miter box good and tight. Cover the whole thing. Good square cut. Now, plug up my saw. Let me see if I can cut something to make that work. Nobody wants to deal with a contractor or a handyman that doesn't clean up well after himself. So, we want to get all the refuse and the trash all swept up, get rid of that, and always return all the plants and the ornamental things. And people tend to have a lot of them, you know. So, this goes in the trash. And this goes to your friends. Like, subscribe, share. That is our motto. We appreciate you watching. You'll find these things interesting, I hope. And I hope it gives you some answers and some help. At least after watching this, you'll know what to ask from the contractor who shows up to do your little odds and ends and maintenance items. Hopefully, you'll be able to tackle these jobs yourself. Well, until we have another little small job, see ya. Pretty good day. It's better than setting it on. If you enjoyed any of this, if you're learning anything, subscribe. Like our channel.
Like.
That's right, like. And
supply.
Share it with your friends. Share.
Share. All your friends.
Even on Facebook.
Yes. So, that'll make us happy and we can afford meal for cornbread and fire for our stove. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys.